Sports wagering is seeing more support in Kentucky, and today it went before a Senate committee for the first time.
Because I think it's important that we know that there's over $1 billion bet illegally right now. And we know there's a significant amount of the marketplace that is just going across the state line.
The bill cleared the House where it's passed before, but the question marks have always been in the Senate. It garnered 9 yes votes in committee, and the chairman was the only one to vote no.
House Bill 551 is passed with favorable expression that same should pass. Congratulations to the bill sponsor.
Made law, the horse racing industry would regulate sports betting parlors at track-owned facilities, and you could even place bets on phones or other mobile devices. That's where a lot of the concern lies.
Turn potentially every iPhone, every internet-connected device into a mini casino.
Several of the committee members said that they wanted to vote for it to get it out of committee, but they also reserve the right to vote against it once it gets to the full Senate floor.
Of concern, even among those voting yes, was the access kids might have.
I would hope that the industry will behave responsibly in that regard towards minors.
Question now is if enough lawmakers in the full Senate will push this through.
The 23 vote threshold required for a bill like this in a short session is a steep mountain to climb.
The longer session would require only 20 votes. Supporters believe if it doesn't pass this year, it certainly will next. In Frankfort, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.